And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three. And the greatest of these is love. These beautiful, poetic, insightful words from chapter 13 of Paul's letter to the Christian community in Corinth are justly famous. It's no wonder that they are so popular at weddings. They are a wonderful seal of blessing on any union. They call out and affirm the very best in human relationships: patience, kindness, respect, and mutual understanding. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. But then it's as if Paul shifts it up another gear, telling us that love is the stuff of eternity. In the end, all the things that we think are important, prophecies, knowledge, speech, all those things will fade away. But what will be left will be love. And in the end, we will come face to face with God, the source of all love. For now, it's like our vision and our understanding are partial and limited. It's like we're peering through a dense fog, and occasionally we might catch a little glimpse. But then, in the end, we will see that love fully revealed in all its abundant glory. Jesus experiences the joy of living perpetually in the knowledge of that love. And he urges his faithful followers to join him there. The gospel passage from John comes at the end of the Last Supper. So there's a reason for that heightened, urgent, persistent quality. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. This is the love that surpasses everything, that survives everything, that flows and connects and binds together the very fabric of our Christian existence, us with each other and us with God. Jesus' message is simple and clear. If you live in the light of this love, you will bear much fruit, fruit that will last. In other words, if you make that love the core of your very being, then your life will be blessed, will be deeply productive and fulfilling. And the same goes, of course, for any Christian community. That same love must infuse it and enwrap it and flow out from it. And what better time for that love to flow than now, in the run-up to Christian Aid Week. Every year I'm struck by the awesome power of the love in action that we see revealed in the stories of joyful transformation that feature in the Christian Aid Week campaigns. And this year is no exception. We have a wonderful story about a lady called Aline Nibigora who comes from Burundi. Now, you may be scratching your head a bit like I was a while ago, thinking, whereabouts exactly is Burundi? Well, it is pretty much plumb central Africa. It's west of Tanzania, east of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and south of Rwanda. It is one of the world's poorest countries. Most people rely on farming to provide food to eat and to sell. They grow fruits and vegetables like bananas, sweet potatoes and beans, plus sugarcane, tea and coffee. Farming is always hard work, but it's being made even harder because Burundi, like many places, is being affected by the climate crisis, which is increasing global temperatures and making weather patterns more unpredictable. Many farmers sadly see their crops failing due to extreme weather events such as floods and droughts and storms. Families face many other challenges as well. Just like here in the UK, the cost of everyday essential items is going up. And in Burundi, most families don't have a water supply to their home, so they must collect water from rivers or shared water points. Healthcare is very expensive, and they often have to travel a long way to visit a doctor or a nurse. The challenges that communities like Aline's face are made even harder as the climate crisis gets worse. It's a heartbreaking reality that the crisis is having the most severe impact in places like Burundi, where life was already challenging enough. Furthermore, the people of Burundi are among those who've done the least to cause this climate crisis in the first place. So let's pause for a minute and try and imagine what it's like to be faced with extreme poverty. When you're pushed to the brink of survival, putting a healthy meal in front of your family, sending your children to school and having a small regular income, all of these things become unthinkable dreams. Yet this is the reality faced by many families in Burundi. This was the position that Aline found herself in when an early marriage ended in violence and abuse. Separated from her children, she was forced to sleep on the streets, hungry, scorned, and alone. She was pushed to the very brink of survival. But then help arrived in the form of a Christian Aid partner organization that gave her a 3-day community workshop. And there she learnt to establish a steady income and make long-term plans. Thanks to that, she has set up a successful small grocery business, and that not only pays for a home for her and her children, but food, clothes, and essential health care too. Aline has also purchased solar panels so that her children can do their evening homework by electric light and further their education. No longer hidden, persecuted, and alone, Aline has risen to become a leader of her community, a spokesperson and a champion of those who are pushing back against the inhumanity of poverty. Now she runs a savings and loans group for the benefit of her friends and her neighbours. It's a wonderfully heartwarming story of a life transformed and richly fulfilled. And it speaks eloquently of the power of the human spirit to hang on tenaciously and courageously in the face of the most extreme and challenging circumstances. But it's also a story about love on many levels. It's the story of Aline's love for her children that inspired her and motivated her to fight her way back from the brink and build for her children a safe and secure home. But it's also the story of the love of Christian Aid supporters, just like you, giving of your time and your talents and your money to make all of this possible. Because at the end of the day, none of the work of Christian Aid would be possible without the generous giving and the passionate prayers of people like you. So why do we do it? Why do we put our love into action for people on the other side of the world who we don't know and likely will never meet? Well, the answer is complex and multifaceted. We love because God loved us first and has invited us into an intimate relationship of knowing and being known by him. We love because love is how we practice that relationship, how we follow our calling as true children of God. We love because love is the core of our very being. God's love has blessed us and transformed us. It's like it has fine-tuned our receptors, has opened our eyes and our ears to hear the call of people living in poverty, and has given us the strength to choose these people who we've never met, and the empathy and the strength to create for them a better future. Love is our motivation. It drives us to stand in solidarity with our global neighbours against poverty and injustice. It moves us to campaign for a world where everyone has fullness of life. It sustains us as we commit to working alongside our global neighbours worldwide and strive for the core Christian Aid values of dignity, equality, and justice. This is love in action. This is Christian Aid Week, 7 remarkable days to bear much fruit that will last. Amen.
Thank you to David for speaking to us about Christian Aid this year. There are envelopes if you want to give that way now. There are envelopes that still need to be distributed around the village, so if there's a pack that you could take, we'd be very grateful for that. You deliver, you don't have to go back for them. People are then encouraged to take them into Just. But there's also on the update various other ways in which you can give towards Christian Aid. I'm just looking at my phone to remind myself of what's in the update. The thing I particularly wanted to highlight to you was 2 Sundays' time on the 19th at 4 o'clock, we've got choral evensong to celebrate Anne Berry's 100th birthday. Anne will be 100 on the 24th of May, and so we're going to gather together to have choral evensong for her. So if you're around, please do come along and celebrate that. If anybody was able to make a cake so that we can have tea and cake afterwards, can you have a word with me? Be really grateful for that. We are moving, this has been Eastertide, and this book will go into the cupboard for next year. Next Sunday is the Sunday after Ascension, so Thursday is actually Ascension Day. The following Sunday is Pentecost. The Sunday after that is Trinity Sunday. And then we go back into the green for ordinary times. So that's what's coming. I think that's all that I need to be sharing with you. Do please look at your update where there's lots there for you to be knowing.